always hosting events and doing a whole bunch of things, and she was always so great speaking in public and speaking to people. And I joked with her, but I think I came out of the womb and she just put a microphone in my hand and just told me to start speaking. I don't know. I'm just comfortable speaking to people, so I never had that issue. But when you have that issue, just start speaking. Just start speaking. You're in a classroom setting, you're in a work setting, conferences, whatever the case is. Instead of the good old fashioned, raising your hand and speaking from where you're sitting, take some initiative. Just get up in front of the room and start speaking, so everybody can actually see you. Because you got some people sit in certain areas, everybody can't see you. You may be in a place where everybody's not really watching you, so you go get that attention. Just go do it. And next tip, practice gratitude. Be thankful for everything. Literally, that really helps you focus on thinking in a more positive manner. When you actually go out and you're grateful for everything. Be thankful. Listen, it's so many amazing things in this world, and there's so many things that we go through. There's so many things that we worry about, we stress about. But at the end of the day, I think I can literally possibly say, no matter what it is that you're going through, someone out there in this world is going through something worse. And based on the fact that all people are different and no one thinks the same, no one feels the same, I think that statement can go on forever and ever. There's always somebody that's going through something worse than you. And even if you think that your situation is the worst that could ever happen, there's someone that's going through something worse. So, when you have that understanding and mentality that, something is worse than what it is, you have to really start being a positive person and start thinking positive. Because, listen, I'm going to tell you, with me, it's things that we take for granted in our lives that make a big difference. So, a few years back, I guess it was 2012. Yeah, 2012. I realized that I was going through some depression at the time, and I started gaining a lot of weight, and I got a little upset with myself, and I said, you know what? Yo, you fat, you ugly. Go work out. So I had to go get in the gym. I started working out. I got in the gym. You have to really focus on putting in that work. So I got out there. I started going back to the gym. I'm a little overweight. I was probably the heaviest that I've been in my life. And so I started working out. And I was playing ball one day, and I broke my ankle. And you know what? When you're not able to walk, you start to realize how important walking is. So I was sitting there unable to walk, and it really opened my eyes and humbled me to a whole different perspective that, listen, I can't walk. My whole life I've been able to walk, and right now I can't walk. And so you could either fall into the trap of the negative mindset and become depressed and start focusing on all the wrong things. But then what you have to do when you want to have a positive thinking mental mindset and outlook on life, you have to start looking at other things. Like, wow, I may not be able to walk, but I'm going to heal and I'll be able to walk again. There's someone out there who doesn't have legs, and they'll never be able to walk, or different things like that. And you start to have to look at things like, wow, I need to be more positive about the things that I'm going through, and start thinking and being thankful for what you do have. Stop looking at what you don't have. Stop looking at what is bothering you, all the negative things in the world. Listen, this world is beautiful. There are so many beautiful things in this world. Just go outside and look. And just look at the way the world has evolved. All the many great and wonderful things. A car is crazy to me. We are used to it because that's what we've experienced in our lives. But go back a couple hundred years, these things didn't exist. So you have to start looking at things like, wow, That's beautiful. That is amazing. And so while Danny is trying to tune in, call in, having issues, she is talking to me right now. And, she was saying, if you want to be a better speaker, read more and write more. A great speaker is a great storyteller, and it all stems from reading. Yes, yes, yes. So to become a positive thinker and to start focusing on things, you want to be a speaker, read, and then read some more. I was one of the people that had issues with reading, and I just couldn't do it. I was a great reader, but I just couldn't keep my attention on reading long enough to actually do it. And so I missed out on a lot of great things. And so over the past couple years, I started reading again, and I'm starting to learn so many new things, and I'm starting to learn so many different things that helps me do the things that I need to do. And we all know the saying that we use on this network so often: write the vision and make it plain. So you want to be a great speaker, start writing things. Start writing things. You want to remember more things, start writing things. And all of these things really help you to become a better person, and they help you to think more positive. If you constantly read and you constantly write, then the words that you write, they start to just sink in. Then you start to feel them a little more. They start to become a part of you. So it's a lot easier for you to just go out and really just speak in front of people. And you start to gain that confidence because, listen, you're reading more, you're writing, and things are just really sinking in. And a lot of times the people that have issues with public speaking, it's more so confidence. It's more so that they don't really believe everything that they're saying, or they just may be really nervous about saying it and feeling as though people aren't going to believe what they're saying. So it's one of those two things, but you really have to focus on the positive mindset of it. You have to be thankful and focus on that. Okay, another tip we can jump into. Let's see. People. Your circle. The people that you hang around. If you constantly hang around negative people, you're going to be a negative person. If you're constantly around people that's gossiping, talking about people all day, every day, you're going to fall into that same category. They say you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. They also say if you're around 9 negative thinkers, you're going to be the 10th. I mean, you could use that with anything, any kind of way you look at things. So the people that you hang around, the people that you are around, is very important as to you having a positive mindset and being a positive thinker. So I've learned firsthand about people and really people making a difference. So when you're in the office, those offices are tough. There's always so much gossiping going on in offices. It drives me crazy. But when you're in that environment, it starts to become a part of you. And, a few years back, about 10 years back, I was working in an office environment. I was working for a collection agency. So I was in the office and, the people would just talk. Everybody would just talk. And, I started to fall into that trap of just talking. And so I started to really get upset about it. And Danny, hey, my partner in progress is here. Danny, can you hear me?
Hey.
What's up, girl?
Oh man, I'm glad I was finally able to get in.
I know. Skype cleared itself up. I opened it back up, closed it out, and we are ready to roll. We are good to go. So yes, everyone, welcome my partner in progress, Miss Danny. Right, Danny? Hey! Yeah. So we all love to have fun, and so I'm going to tell you this, right?
I can't yell too much because kids are, they're. This is final have a bit of a slow period right now with they're in their rooms packing and studying and everything else. And so at around 8:30 or so, I'll be heading back downstairs to help give them a study break. And at the end of each semester, during finals, we give them breakfast for dinner. So even though they've eaten dinner, this is their study break. And we make them pancakes for a treat. And
Nice.
we have all kinds of toppings, you know. So, but I did want to hop on tonight. I know that the last few weeks have been crazy, but it's the end of the semester, and I'm really looking forward to getting back on schedule full time with our shows. But
Yes,
I've
indeed.
loved the show so far. I've loved the content of the show, and just thinking through some of the things that you said, that, you know, just even about, you know, the tips that you have, but then also about reading. You and I, we talk about reading all the
Mm-hmm.
time because, you know, reading is so much more than just fundamental.
Yes, it is.
Reading is really, it's critical. It's essential. It's one of the things that you know, throughout my career, I've seen and met many people who, young and old, cannot read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally cannot read. Not just not at the appropriate reading level for their age. They don't know how to read.
Yep.
And so when we talk about being in business and we talk about doing things that need to be done as far as giving ourselves affirmations and speaking positively over our lives, one essential tool that we need is we need to be readers.
Mm-hmm.
We need to educate ourselves by reading. We need to read fiction and nonfiction. We need to read about things going on in the industry that we want to be involved in. We need to read about other industries
Mm-hmm.
that ultimately impact what we're doing. So I read about technology. I read a lot about technology. I read about public relations and social media because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I also read about nonprofit management, not just because that is one of the jobs that I have, but it also impacts the work that I do within my business. And so I want to be well-rounded. I want to be really in tune with what's going on around me, and the only way that I can do that is by picking up a book, reading articles, reading the newspapers, reading, you know, really reading to figure out what's going on. So,
Yep.
Sorry, I'm kind of on a soapbox right now because I feel like my time is so limited. I've got to get it all out.
That's fine, Danny. That's fine. But you hit on some great
Also,
points.
You also talked about our circle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for those of you may or may not know, but 3 of my friends and I, we have a women's ministry called the Well Women's Ministry. And at our last service in Atlanta, Katrina Jackson got up and she said something that just totally blew me away. But it's not what she said because I've heard it before. It was well, I guess it wasn't what she said. The theme was the same that I've heard a million times over, but she said it in a way that was so powerful. She said, your circle must match your confession.
Mm.
And so what she was saying was, hey, if you say that you're a Christian, then you should have some people around you that look and act that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't be, you know, saying that you're saved, but you're, you know, hanging out with drug dealers and,
Yep.
you know, that lifestyle doesn't match